Hello, hello, hello. How the devil are you? If you want a surefire way to basically stop you feeling crap, then you need to stay tuned. My name is Kai Graham. I am author of the Teen Toolbox, and really it's my mission to help parents support their kids so that together we can build a mentally healthier and happier generation of young people. And how I do that is through my book, through my online courses and through coaching programs. But without further ado, let's get going. Something happened to me today, and I suddenly realised that I was creating stories in my head. And I just suddenly thought, how do I deal with this? I'm in the process of getting my videos for my next month's videos ready for my YouTube course, and it's all about anxiety. And earlier this morning, I was sitting there minding my own business, up to my ears in stats and figures, which is just the sort of stuff I love. And I got an email, and it asked me to do something that I didn't want to do. And I suddenly thought, oh no, I'm far too busy for that. I can't do that. And, I'd love to, but I've got too much on my plate, and luckily I'm going away. And I suddenly caught myself on. And I thought, hang on a minute, Kai. Where is this coming from? And actually, even the thought of it is making me feel a bit funny. It's quite strange. And I got that feeling of, let's pretend it's all right, but I had that feeling of dread inside me, and I could actually feel where it was. And I suddenly thought, oh no, let's find a really a good excuse not to do this so that I don't lose face. I thought, hang on a minute. That's not very healthy. And I started asking myself, is this thought logical? Where's it come from? And it was a belief of mine that I still hold, obviously, because I was feeling it. And I just thought, I need to do something about this. And it ties in with my quote. I do a quote every day on my Facebook page. It's the Kai Graham, the Teen Toolbox. And the quote is, you start believing whatever you keep saying to yourself, whether those statements are true or false. And never a truer word this morning when this email popped up. And I just sort of thought, there's me sort of, pushing this stuff out. And suddenly someone asked me to do something, and there was no logical reason for me to say no. And yet I was trying to find loads and loads of excuses why not to do it. Does this resonate with you? Does this sort of ring a bell? And I suddenly thought, no, and actually I started having that feeling of dread. And I started having that feeling of backing out of something. And then what happened was I started getting cross with myself. I started being resentful of, oh, well, why are you always doing this? Or why are you thinking that way? And that this is an opportunity for you, and you're just being silly. And everything was negative. This is the whole point. Everything was coming up in my head was negative. There was nothing positive about an email that I had received that asked me to do something which actually I'm quite good at. And when I'm usually doing it, I quite enjoy. So where was all this coming up? So therefore, I decided to beat myself up and tell myself how hopeless I was. And I thought, no, I've got to deal with this. I've got to do something with this. And it's a technique I want to share with you now. It's actually one of the techniques I cover in my Breathe Through Anxiety online course, kaigraham.com/breathe if you're interested. But I just wanted to share this with you because it's important. And it's called Colour Me Beautiful. And even the thought of it is making me feel better. But even talking about this email, talking about this situation, talking about me trying to find a really good excuse how not to do it while saving face and looking like I'm terribly important, and it was so much crap going on in my head. And then came the resentment, and and I can still feel it. So I obviously need to do this Colour Me Beautiful again, and it is a breathing exercise, and I want to share it with you. When you've got chaos going on in your head, when you've got these feelings of resentment or negativity, or you're beating yourself up, or there we go again, oh, I'm so hopeless, or whatever it is, I want you to just stop. And I want you to just pull the reins in and go, now, hang on a minute. We're going to change this. So just stop and take a couple of breaths. And put your shoulders back and put like there's a golden thread going from your feet all the way through your body, and just I have to do that so you can see, lift that golden thread so it starts making you feel a bit more in control. You put your shoulders back, hold your head up, put your chin up, and stop acting like a victim, because this is what I was doing and I've no idea why. But I want you now just to scan your body. Think about this thing, whether or not it was an email, whether or not it was something someone said, whether or not it's, oh, you're so hopeless, whether or not it was, whatever it is, whatever that thing that triggered you. For me, it was this email this morning. I want you to scan your body and work out where you can feel that feeling, that resentment, that negativity, because it does build up in our body somewhere, that dread, that oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So it's find it, okay? Find where that feeling is. I've got it, and it's right, for those woo-woo people, it's right in my heart chakra. You know, where so, but you might sort of feel it, when I get nervous, like the back of my knees go, that always makes me feel funny. But sometimes when you want to say something, maybe, and you don't know you should, you might feel it in your throat, or maybe you've got to find it in your head. I mean, seriously, I've had clients who just sort of say, where is it? And they say, oh, it's my left ankle. I don't care where it is. Doesn't have to be rational. The unconscious mind is not rational. That's the whole point. But the point is, find out where that tension is, because we need to get rid of it. And have a look at that tension and go, right, where is it? Found it. Good. Now, what colour is it? For me, sage green. Don't know why. Isn't always. Sometimes it's black. Sometimes it's a sort of, reddy colour. It doesn't really matter. But today, this time, it was sage green. A murky sort of, actually less sagey, more pondweedy green. Okay? And so what I did, head back, golden thread up. And I started breathing into that feeling. And what I wanted to do was to replace that horrid sludgy colour with something more positive. And this time it was orange. No idea why. Don't even like the colour orange. But to me, obviously, let me take a slurp. This orange was probably, if you look on the colour wheel, it's probably the polar opposite for green. Actually, it's not. You interior designers will pull me up. I think it's a complementary colour. Anyway, who cares? I needed to replace this sludgy green with orange, and it was a fairly vibrant orange. So what you do is once you found your dread, once you found your anxiety, once you found that negative bit, wherever it is in your body, give it that colour, whatever colour suits you, the first colour that comes up. And as you breathe in, replace it with something positive. You might want to feel calm. You might want to feel confident. You might want to, whatever it is, that polar, flip that negativity and make it positive. So what is it that you wanted to feel? And I wanted to feel empowered. I wanted to feel, hell yeah. So I breathed. Straight down into my heart chakra. I was breathing in orange and breathing out that sludgy green. And breathing in orange and breathing out that sludgy green. So eventually what started to happen, that I ran out of sludgy green. The sludgy green had gone. And all I had was that orange, replacing the positivity, replacing that crapness that I had been feeling. No idea why, don't know where it came from, but I tell you what, I needed to change it fast. And that's what I want you to do. So find that colour and replace it with something positive. And keep breathing, keep throwing your shoulders back and keep that golden thread going. And when that horrid feeling and that colour has disappeared, you know you've got it. Scan your body, make sure there is no tension left. And then, my friends, you are good to go. So I hope that helped. This is my sort of toolbox takeaway. I'm wanting to do daily sort of daily tools to help you, parents and teenagers, navigate adolescence. It's not just adolescence, is it? It's just life in general. But I want to be able to help you to keep you going forward in a more positive way. Because I tell you what, that's what it's all about, isn't it? So much love. And hunt me down. If you liked this, then subscribe wherever you're finding this, if it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, subscribe or like or whatever, so that, you know, follow me, so that you will be notified next time I go live. Any comments, drop them in the comments below, and I promise, answer them. Much love. Bye-bye.